Hello, this is Mrs. Calloway doing a think aloud about central idea and objective summary. When I'm thinking about the Miss Sadie story, I want to first think about the central idea. And the who, what, and what's the point, which is the central idea of Miss Sadie, I'm thinking is that this 8th grade student wrote about Miss Sadie, who was an influential person in her life that she remembers fondly. So I'm going to go ahead and get that down right away. And so here it is. I've written it down. There are many ways to state the central idea. You may have a different central idea and it may be just fine. Now, once you have the central idea, what I have found to be a very powerful tool in writing an objective summary for literature, or what we could call fiction, in other words, not nonfiction, is this template. In fact, you can use this all through high school and college whenever you're asked to summarize. It's such a good guideline. So you just fill it out in the text type, title, by author. And that's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to get rid of this extra stuff because if I was a student, I wouldn't want to turn it in like that. Get rid of the bullet, and I'm going to indent because it will be a paragraph. In the, kind of text type is it? It's a narrative. And it's a story. It said in the beginning that she took some references from another source. Miss Sadie is the title. Just plugging it in by, all we know is it's an 8th grade student. It didn't say. And then I purposefully condensed this central idea. I made it just real brief, and I'm going to just cut it out, paste it into there. And usually when you put the central idea in there in an objective summary, you can just say the who and the what, because you're going to go through and tell what happens first. What was the first important idea? The next important idea. Then important idea. And in the end, you're going to tell how it all worked out and what was the resolution. So you're getting to the point throughout. I'll fix up the font a little bit. Now, I never have too much trouble writing what happens first. Let's see. Oops, I see down here you're supposed to include the setting, where and when, somewhere in the summary. So I'm going to go ahead and put in that setting, just like the hint says. The story takes place in the author's neighborhood. Alrighty, let's see. What happened first? Well, the author remembers Miss Sadie as she used to be. And this is directly from the selection. You never want to infer or put your own opinion in. Full of character and wisdom. Now, sometimes I get bogged down in the middle. I don't know what's the most important thing. So what I do, I go to the very end and I do that conclusion resolution. Then that just really helps me condense things. So I'm going to say, in the end, the author realizes that she learned many life lessons from Miss Sadie. I can get this stuff out of there. Now all I've got is just a couple things. So, I would have the text right in front of me. A paper copy is best. So then I would say next, as the author becomes older, her visits to Miss Sadie's house become less frequent. Then, when she hasn't seen Miss Sadie in a long time, she comes to visit only to find out that Miss Sadie has Alzheimer's disease. Well, I've got a little something I want to say here that's pretty important, and I'm kind of out of room in my template. So I'm just going to add a little bit. You don't have to do this. I'm going to add in eventually. She learns that Miss Sadie is to die soon, which breaks her heart. And then I've got my in the end. Now I'm just going to do a little proofreading here. I went through and just cleaned it up and read it to myself and made sure that my verb tenses all matched and that it just sounded good. I'm now going to, I'm going to put it in all the same. It should be Times New Roman, but for time, Arial. I'm going to make sure everything matches. And there is my objective summary about Miss Sadie. The story of Miss Sadie. Inside is embedded in my central idea.